Welcome to episode 58 of Instant Expertise Marketing. In our last episode, we shared two of our favorite campaigns from 2022, and we explained what made them great so that you can swipe and replicate those approaches for your own marketing campaigns in 2023. Today, we're sharing two more of those best offers from 2023, from 2022. I'm Yvette Brown, co-founder of X Promos. I became an entrepreneur at 23 by starting a promotions agency with my then 29-year-old business partner, Sherry Nomadi.
That makes me the older, wiser one, Sherry Nomadi. And as you guys know, Yvette and I approach business from opposite ends of the spectrum, yet we do always come to the same conclusions on how we're going to help our clients succeed. It is the magic between us, I'll tell you. So as we mentioned in our last episode, today we're going to talk about our best direct response campaign and a gamification program that you won't want to miss.
Plus, we're going to share the strategy behind what made them great so you can use those concepts in your next campaign.
All right, let's get to it. So first up is a direct response campaign, and it is a Halloween kit.
Okay, so at first blush, this may seem awkward because this is actually one of our own internal campaigns, but it made our best of the year list because it developed and returned a positive ROI in under 30 days for us, and it boosted our agency's visibility at a crucial time of year.
I know, right? Of all of our favorite programs in 2022, I really think this is the easiest one for you guys to swipe.
Totally.
And it's great. It's a great concept to use for ADM as a touch point to high value prospects, or even as a thank you to your customers at the bottom of the funnel, however you decide.
Yeah, so let's explain what we did first, okay? We decided to create a Halloween direct mail kit for our best customers and prospects. Inside, we included a customized Yeti tumbler in our corporate color and a pair of logoed shortbread cookies from a top-notch local baker.
And of course, because you guys know by now, we are big on personalization and customization. So we completed the kit with a handwritten note.
Yeah, totally. So if you listen to the last podcast, you know how much we love handwritten notes because they're customized, they're personalized, and they're cost efficient. Also of note, the Yeti tumbler in this case was customized, but it did not feature a giant X Promos logo. Instead, it had a very tiny logo on it and a Halloween graphic that said, "Scary Good." So the idea right here is that if you have the Scary Good tumbler, it doesn't, if you don't know us, you don't necessarily know it's representing us. The user of the mug can kind of take that as a personal, note.
Exactly. So I want to address the customization again. It's so hard for any company to create swag or merch with not adding that giant logo. We know it, we see it every day, all the time, but we've really learned that over time, it's much more meaningful as a gift to a small group of high value prospects if you can customize it in another way that the prospect will still never forget where it came from. So a few years ago, we created these Yeti coffee mugs that said boss. No logo, just boss and Yeti. And today, years later, we still hear from people about how much they love this boss mug. So obviously they've never forgotten where it came from. And because there's so many more meetings on Zoom today, we see our clients using this mug regularly during our Zoom meetings. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that's totally accurate, Sherry. If it's meaningful, they're not going to forget where it came from. So anyway, what's the big deal about this kit? I mean, we put some cookies and a mug into a direct mailer with a note. Well, first, it tapped into seasonality, okay, which is a great offer strategy because you're aligning with what's already happening in the prospect's life. Okay. We chose Halloween because number one, it's massively popular. And number two, it gave us a chance to engage with our prospects and customers during a really important time of the year when most of them are planning how they're going to spend their budgets next year. And it also gives us a chance to steer clear of the traditional holiday season where every agency and vendor is going to send stuff to clients and prospects that sometimes gets lost.
Absolutely. And you know what, guys? It wasn't just the season. We also borrowed some brand interest from Yeti. And honestly, we have run a lot of Yeti campaigns for several years now, and people still love them every single time. And that's because Yeti really has staying power. It represents quality, and we just keep rolling with it. Why not?
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay. Sherry's right. Everybody keeps requesting it, and we just keep doing it. So finally, the branded cookies in this kit were really the chef's kiss to the package. Mm-hmm. On those, which were pumpkins, because it was Halloween season, we put our logo nice and big on it, big and prominent, right? But we got nothing but favorable feedback from our recipients. We didn't have to add the cookies to the kit because it wasn't, financially, it didn't look like it was adding a whole lot of value. But the reality is it was a little something extra that brought the kit together and made it a more meaningful experience for the recipients. Eating those cookies was a fantastic customer experience.
And they were delicious. So it just, everything about it just kept getting better.
Right.
Now, what we didn't mention yet is that one of our recipients loved this kit so much that they asked us to replicate it with their brand for an upcoming event that they had scheduled. And so, boom, just like that, we delivered a positive ROI in just 1 month.
And honestly, we didn't expect that. And it was a giant cherry on top for a campaign that we were really seeing as a nurture campaign and a top of mind. So that was really awesome. Mm-hmm. So as we said, though, you can use this little surprise for a high value prospect or customer around any seasonal event, from Valentine's Day to Easter or spring to summer, Halloween, whatever. If you align it favorably to the timing that suits to your calendar, that much better it will be. During a key season, during trade show season, during the time when your prospects or vendors are making decisions, think about that timing and tap into seasonality because that's where everybody's head is at.
Absolutely. And also, if you're scaling, there are some vendors out there that can integrate direct mail right into your existing marketing automation or sales enablement stack. Also, remember, we're going to pound it into your head again to add that handwritten note for the personal touch. It really does add a lot.
And by all means, find a clever message in lieu of a ginormous logo. Just going to leave it with that.
Yep, that's a great way to end this one. So, hey, now let's talk about your favorite offer of the year, Yvette. It's our best digital gamification, integrated the 90s nostalgia into a game that we call the Scale Trail.
Oh my God, I'm so excited about this one. So before we get into the details of this, though, I do have a short story to share. Here's the thing. Sherry and I have worked together for a very long time. In agency terms, she's account and I'm creative. If you know, you know. But unlike most account creative teams, we have always gotten along famously well. And in no small part, I have to give credit to Sherry because she understands how to manage creatives like me. And I know it's not always easy. And Sherry, you know where this story is going, I'm sure.
Oh, I do.
So oftentimes when we make a presentation, there's one idea that I'm going to say is kind of out there. Okay. It's the one that's a little crazy. Maybe it's a little risky. We'll save those stories for another day. But one of the reasons that I have a ton of respect for Sherry is because she has always supported the creatives presenting the crazy idea, even if she doesn't entirely buy into it. Okay. Usually I know which one she's not fully on board with because she'll say, okay, but you're going to have to present that one. And that's when I know. So that was the case with this offer.
Yep, that's true. And clients that are listening now, they're going to know if Yvette's presenting the idea. Is that the one that's the crazy out there that Sherry said, okay, but didn't really want to? We gave away a secret today.
Yep.
Anyway, needless to say, in this case, the crazy idea resonated with the client and they green-lighted it.
Yes. And it makes me extra joyful when a client goes for the crazy idea because number one, it means it wasn't as crazy as I thought. And number two, they trust that it's going to work.
That's right. And this crazy idea was inspired by the Oregon Trail, which was one of the most successful educational games of all time. And it happened to be fondly remembered by our target audience, the millennials, which really made this one work.
Yes. And, that's really the number one takeaway. Trends right now, like 90s nostalgia is all the hot trends. It's so hot right now. It's everywhere. So if you can infuse the excitement into your creativity of some 90s nostalgia into your theme, it is going to help with your campaign execution.
So the concept, inspired by the Oregon Trail, was an online game called Scale Trail, where prospects could discover if their company was ready to scale.
You see, in this case, our client inherited a list of recycled MQLs or, marketing qualified leads. They needed to determine if any of these old leads were still interested in the brands so they could surface the ones that were to sales and find out if they could become sales qualified leads or SQLs.
So instead of doing the same old boring email campaign, we created this really fun game. And we used direct mail, email, and paid social media to invite these marketing qualified leads to play the game. We even offered a low-end sweepstakes package as an enticement to play. At the end of the game, the scores were tallied to determine if the participant was ready to scale their business.
So while no one could die of dysentery inside our game, the questions were realistic but playful. The outcomes of each question could either set your company back or it could accelerate your growth as you moved along the scale trail.
And one of the other best parts about the program is that it made our direct client look really good internally because their senior leadership team noticed and they commented to them for their breakthrough creativity on this campaign. And it resurfaced MQLs for them. And the direct mail engagement alone was twice the engagement of their typical standard rate.
So how does that help you? What's in it for you? Well, the next big takeaway on this one is that gamification works, and maybe especially for B2B campaigns. Because while everyone else is trying to create interactive, engaging content, you need to kind of think twice before you just crank out another long survey or assessment, kind of like something that's dry and straight to the point and not very exciting. Excuse me. Think about how you can make it enjoyable, fun, and interactive so the prospect gets to know, like, and trust your brand.
This campaign also met some secondary objectives without adding friction. So what we did was we integrated one single question about the customer's company role into the game. And what that did was it helped sales better evaluate their leads. So when you're doing this, you can consider roles or titles, or you can consider industries, for example. But just be mindful of the customer experience and keep it short, keep it casual and fun, or else your prospect will lose interest for sure.
And as we mentioned, we did include a small sweepstakes package with this game. Plus, we repurposed those same prizes as rewards for those who signed up for and completed demos of the product.
And that's really a great takeaway. Repurpose those rewards that you have sitting around. We know everybody's got some. Order extras if you have to cover for these multiple uses.
And with that, we're going to wrap up our recap of the best marketing offers of 2022. But we did want to leave you with some final thoughts. First, none of the campaigns we featured shifted resources from a planned activity. That is, our clients had already budgeted for a trade show booth, an ABM program, and MQL revival efforts. We didn't break the budget with a brand new strategy or channel or some giant experiment. Instead, we reimagined the process with engaging on-trend tactics that helped our clients better connect with their audiences. We helped them tackle secondary objectives, and we boosted results without overextending their resources. And the reality is, you can do it too.
That is absolutely right, Yvette. And with that, we want to let you know that for 2023, we're going deep into offers all year long. So to make sure you don't miss an episode, sign up for the updates. And if you want to find out how we can build a compelling offer for you, visit us at xpromos.com. Again, thanks for listening. We hope you come back again.